any stretch. And we will dive right into the inspection division. And there is a slight discrepancy between what the administration is recommending and the budget committee. The administration is recommending a total of $120,225. The budget committee is recommending a total of $117,776. We hear rationale for the difference.
I think the two line items that we differ on were the gas and oil repairs. We went from 2,400 based on prior year experiences and usage, and the other one that we differed slightly on was the maintenance. Again, that's based on actual usage over the last couple of years.
Motion approved 117,776.
Motion by Councilor Yazbek to approve $117,776. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Zawinski. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Alves? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Flaherty?
Yes, motion carries. On to the DPW administration. The administration recommends a total of $92,648. Budget committee recommends a total of $84,650.
The difference is the new part-time custodial position is being recommended by the administrator, and we did not put it in. I think Mr. Public Works Director might want to speak to that, though he has very strong feelings about that. Ray? Ray? You want to talk about your custodial?
The part-time custodial position that was recommended for DPW for a total of $74.98. That's what the administration recommended. The budget committee recommended $0. And thought maybe you might want to speak to that position.
Yes. What we have is we have one 19-hour part-time custodian, and he has a real hard time getting out of the police department and the annex building. So therefore, any other town buildings that I'm responsible for do not get cleaned. So therefore, instead of hiring a company, a cleaning company, or a full-time person to save on the health benefits, I suggested that we throw in the 4,000, 7,000, whatever that number is, to get that second person.
And the budget committee's rationale for not supporting the position?
We just didn't support the new position.
Okay.
Oh.
Are there any questions for Mr. Pendergast?
Does that include Scouts Hall?
That includes Town Hall, Scouters Hall. I'm getting a little tired of cleaning highway myself. It's any other building. Scouters Hall,
Yeah, it definitely needs cleaning.
I know.
Everything needs
I
cleaning.
know that.
I've complained so many times about different buildings. I go in other places and it looks great. All my permits, I come here and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm glad to have someone come in.
The actuality of the whole thing is that even the police department and the annex are not properly cleaned and maintained. That's really the most important part. Scouters Hall, we're looking into renting that out on weekends. Therefore, I would need to have that cleaned. I couldn't even think about renting that out right now in the condition that it's in. It's just used too much by the children in the scouting program, and we just can't keep up. So that was the rationale for that.
Mr. McGee, would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the
$92,648.
$2,648.
Motion by Councilor McGee. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Zawinski. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Alves? Recuse. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
No.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Flaherty?
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to Highway Department. And there is, again, a slight discrepancy, more than a slight discrepancy, between what the administration is proposing, which is $1,062,888, versus what the budget committee is recommending, which is $1,056,248. Entertain an explanation of the rationale for the difference.
first line item that we have a discrepancy in is the drainage pipe. We budgeted 5,000, she recommended 6. They spent 1,234 and 13, and nothing had been expended yet, although I do know that the highway department has since ordered the drainage pipes, so we went with a $5,000 number in that line item. And the other significant difference would be in, I believe it was the replacement parts. She recommended $6,000 higher than what we recommended. And again, we went with the prior year history and didn't feel that it was required to increase quite as much.
I'll just point out too that this is
We have a
the,
little discrepancy in the building maintenance as well. She went 1,140, we went 1,500, and I think that covers all of the accounts that we have.
and just so folks realize too, this is the department that includes a total of $200,000 in road resurfacing, which showed up for the first time last year in this budget. I believe the first time, may have happened years way past, but
We kept that number in, because even if your bond issue passes for the 2.3 or 2.5, whatever the bond, highway bond is, the total cost in that report far exceeded that number. It's somewhere, I think, between 6 and 8 million for every road on that list that was in need of attention. So we'd like to get back into the habit of budgeting X number of dollars every year for road resurfacing to try to catch up with it. I mean, the 200,000 is not a significant amount.
most communities do
but
budget.
a significant amount, correct. And the problem is, what's happening now is what's happened in Providence. They didn't budget in the operating budget for road resurfacing for so many years. Now they're floating like a $52 million bond for road repaving. And we're floating one for 2.3, and it's not even going to put a dent in what we really actually need. So we think it's important that we continue to maintain some dollars in road resurfacing.
Does the administration want to justify the increase in some of the line items where there's differences?
Well, I just want to say that we concur with the road resurfacing issue in the event that, we'll be scratching the surface, but we do get so many complaints for potholes and small things that we could at least do if we have that. The replacement parts, I would maintain the 6,600 if you want to bring it down a little bit, but our vehicles aren't getting any younger. And, it's not like we have an opportunity every year to get new vehicles in this department. So I would think that, in fact, there are some vehicles that are just not drivable anymore at this point. It makes no sense throwing good money after that. So replacement parts, I would say, I wouldn't decrease it to 60,000. We've had several issues during the snowstorms where we have hydraulics go and things that you just you can't predict, so.
Okay, so is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mr. President, to approve $1,062,888 for highway department.
Motion by Councilor Zelinski to approve $1,062,888. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor McGee. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Alves? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
No.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Cardy?
Yes, motion carries. We're on to Parks and Recreation. And the administration and the budget committee are recommending the identical amount of $78,780. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Councilor Zelinski. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor McGee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Alves? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
No.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Cardy?
Yes, motion carries. On to the tree warden. There's a discrepancy between the administration, which is recommending $4,230, and the budget committee, which is recommending $3,730. And the difference seems to be focused mainly on tree removal and pruning, where the administration is recommending $2,500, and the budget committee is recommending $2,000.
Well, I think one of the things that we all know is that our tree warden is Mr. Luba, and he's tremendously generous with us and has been for many years. I mean, so many things are taken care of, and we get a hat tip, and it's my town, and I want to help out kind of thing. So he has been doing this for so many years. I just, at this point, even with all the snow and ice problems that we've had, with the trees that are dead, and we call them on a pretty regular basis. And he'll go out and check something out for us, and it's never any charge. It was a courtesy to him, and to begin possibly moving that up a little bit so that he can gain some few dollars for his generosity.
Would the committee care to comment?
We didn't have strong feelings one way or another on this, to be honest with you.
Motion to approve 4230.
Motion by Councilor Yazbek for approve 4230. Is there a second? Second by Councilor McGee. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Alves? Yes. McGee?
Yes.
Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Valenti?
Yes.
Mr. Flaherty?
Yes, motion carries. Next item is street lights. Administration and the Budget Committee recommend a total of $225,000. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Councilor Alves. Is there a second?
Second for discussion.
Seconded by Councilor Zawinski. Discussion.
Looking back 2 years, 218, 206, and now we're at 225. Have we been adding streetlights to any new subdivisions? I don't know that, what's going on? Have we added lights in town?
I believe we already are over the 225,000.
Yeah, with 206, let's call it 207 as of June 6th.
Edification, there's a request to transfer another 49,000. That would bring the revised budget to 249.
To answer the question about streetlights, so we only request a minimum, like in 6-lot subdivision, it'd be at the front and back, in fact, the cul-de-sac. But we still require them.
Bend in the roads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was that?
But there's a request coming up later in the agenda to move $49,000 into that account. So if we do that later on, your revised budget would be $249,197. And you're only proposing $225. So
We based ours on the expenditures to date that we had in front of us.
As we did
well,
now.
my point is that 225 may be shy. You're looking at 250.
Yes,
Right.
yes, it will be by now.
Willow Valley and Harkness Road West, been out for 3 months. I've made 3 requests online. Maybe somebody can call them now that I'm thinking of it. Thank you.
You don't suggest to increase that?
Well, you know,
Oh, we should get a credit for that.
Well, I'm talking about the budget of the month.
Isn't that building over there? I don't know enough information about what's precipitating the 49.
Could you shed some light on that, Madam? Finance Director?
I took what we actually had expended and added one more month, which I think was about 6, because at this point we were already over the line item.
do we have a 3-year history here? We have 218 and
Well, there
207.
was a pretty large increase, at least in the rental of floodlights. I don't know if the streetlights fall under that same category, but I know mine at the office.
You're already at
that fall under.
228,000, so we're $28,000 over already, and then we still have one more month. So I think that was about 8,000, 6 or 8,000, so that's why I put in for the 40.
So if you take the year ending as of 6/6 of the 206,905, add 49, you're up to almost 256. Is that an accurate number as to what we should expect in the next fiscal year? 256?
Yeah, it's gonna be over 50, we're already at 128, and we have another little month.
I know this is perhaps a little premature, but I know that Mr. Erickson's been looking into ways to save on streetlights through but that's not gonna, that wouldn't probably happen until the next,
Yeah.
right.
So from 6 was additional amount.
Yeah, she's gonna finish the year at 249, 297.
So I would say 250, 200.
Well, I think part of this, she's asking for this budget to be added here, so that's 6.
Oh, okay.
I would think.
Yeah, so the Robert was better be closer to 275 by the time we finish. And then they of course always goes up, so.
No, you're gonna be closer to 249.
Yes, 250.
Mr. President,
Councilor Zawinski.
I'd like to make a motion to approve $250,000 for light and street lights in the town of North Smithfield.
Second.
Would anybody like to care to withdraw the previous motion? Withdrawn? Okay, we've got a new motion by
Motion for
Councilor,
$250,000.
by Councilor Zawinski, seconded by Councilor Yazbek. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Sells? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Yes. Motion is approved. And we move on to rubbish disposal.
Motion for 649,580 based on the approved contract.
Motion by Councilor Yazbek, is there a second? Seconded by Councilor McGee, is there any discussion? Hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Sells? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes, motion carries. On to sealer of weights. Is there a motion for $1?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Yazbek, is there a second? Seconded by Councilor McGee, is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Sells? Yes. Mr. McGee? Mr. Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes, motion carries. On to debt service principal. Administration and the Budget Committee recommend a total of $2,055,552. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Yazbek, is there a second? Seconded by Councilor McGee, is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Sells? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Flaherty?
Yes, motion carries. On to debt service interest. Administration and Budget Committee recommend a total of $1,376,625. Is there a motion to, moved by Councilor Yazbek, is there a second? Seconded by Councilor McGee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Sells? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes, motion carries. On to employee benefits. Budget Committee and Administration recommend a total of $1,615,535. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Yazbek, is there a second? Seconded by Councilor McGee. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Sells? Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Flaherty?
Yes, motion carries. On to insurance.
200,497. So moved.
Motion by Councilor Yazbek, seconded by Councilor McGee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Sells? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Flaherty?
Yes, motion carries. On to capital. Motion, Administration and Budget Committee recommend a total of $326,082. Is there a motion to approve?
Can we explain?
Discussion?
Yeah,
Sure.
it might have been the other night, but I wasn't here.
Yeah, sure. This would include, hold on 1 minute.
We're not gonna lease purchase, we're just gonna pay for
We're
it?
just gonna pay for it. I mean, the lease purchase, you get the payment next year for that lease purchase. If we continue to do that every year for 5 years, you're up to about $500,000 bond payment. There are very few communities that do lease purchases for the capital like this. Many of the communities budget the full amount of capital out of their operating budget. And I think we should get into that habit as well of trying to do that. And I think in the narrative of our budget committee report, we suggested that this account would grow over the years. For example, when the legal settlements line item of $95,000 is done, we could add that to the capital budget for the following year. And when the bond general fund balance has been restored, the payments that we've been making to the general would be diverted to the capital budget. This includes $247,675 for the schools for capital, and $78,407 for the police department. This is not your total capital budget. There's a separate document that I think Brenda passed out that had, these are the capital items that are being funded by the town. There are additional purchases of vehicles by the police department being paid for from the detail fund. And also there are about $53,000 in projects that are being paid through the water sewer departments as well. Did Brenda give you a sheet on that?
I did.
But this is, I mean, I think this is really long overdue. It's kind of ridiculous to be going out to bond for such a small amount, and we should be responsible enough to budget some funds to make these purchases out of the operating budget.
Could you just outline some of the items that are reflected in the $247,000?
Sure.
How those were arrived at?
I believe there's 90, let me hang on there 1 minute. There's 91,866 for the technology project for the high school. I'm sorry, for the school system. 22 radios for a total of 23,319. There's $100,000 for duct cleaning at the high school. That's a health and safety issue. They had requested 200, but the planning board had requested another estimate, which didn't come in, and we lowered it to 100. We'll do whatever work can be done for 100, but Mr. Zambrano is in this type of business, and he feels that the 100 was more than generous and can cover the cost, hopefully. And it also includes funding for a 1-ton pickup truck and plow for $32,490. On the police department side, it's purchasing 2 Ford Interceptors and 3 Motorola radios for a total of the $78,407.
Since we have school administrators here, and thank you for being here, could we just confirm that the items that we just heard do represent some of your top priorities for capital improvements? Is there anything that you would have recommended differently for this?
I should have also said that we went off the projects that were approved by the planning board.
You went, okay. When you say you went off,
We took the list that the project planning board approved and went through that.
okay. Mr. Lindbergh, would you share?
Sure, Mr. Flaherty, our top priority was technology. Our second top priority was science labs, but they're over in the bond side. I am a little concerned that those are being left out, perchance, considering that they've been noted since before 2002 as being deficient. So, number 1 is technology, number 2 is the science labs, number 3 are the portable locker rooms. But again, they're on the bond side. The radios have been recommended by a committee on the town side, so that'll fulfill our responsibility for safety and security. Candidly, the ductwork at the high school hasn't been cleaned since it's been built, so it is an issue, and we'll get done what we can. So there was certainly a lot of other priorities, but that's what can be afforded. So I guess that's what the school committee supported. So.
Thank you very much. Any questions? The motion to approve. I'll motion to approve a total of $326,082 for capital as described. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor McGee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Alves? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
No,
Mr. Zelinski?
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Mr. Flaherty?
Yes. Carries. On to settlement obligations, which we heard a little bit about earlier. The administration and the budget committee are both recommending a total of $95,000. This is in accordance with a settlement that has already been determined by a judge, and we know we have to pay it, so I think that's why it's here. Is there a motion to approve?
so moved.
Moved by Councilor Yazbek, is there a second? Second by Councilor McGee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Alves? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Yazbek?
Yes,
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Flaherty?
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to the school department. There is a slight discrepancy between the administration's recommendation and the budget committee's recommendation. The administration, very slight. The administration is recommending a total of $24,423,091, and the budget committee is recommending a total of $24,428,754. Questions?
Mr. President, can we at least talk about the next item so that we can maybe back into a number here?
The next time,
Grants and contributions.
anybody object? Okay, move on to, we'll come back to this after grants and contributions.
I take it there are none proposed because of issues that supposedly we don't have authority to make those grants and contributions, is that correct? Well, I don't agree with it, so I'll move the flat funded at $23,500.
Motion by Council Yazbek to flat funded at $23,500. Is there a second? Second by Council McGee. And we have discussion.
Yes, please explain that to me.
Both the administration and the budget board have put zero in for the grants for VFW, Northern Rhode Island Mental Health, RSVP, bus trips for the seniors, Veterans Advisor, Land Trust, Friends of North Smithfield, Animal Senior Services, We the People, council donations, and North Smithfield Food Pantry. Last year, those amounts that were approved were $23,500. There's been some discussion off and on, emails most recently, but discussion at a town council meeting a few months back, that we may not have the authority to make those kinds of stipends to these nonprofits. My argument at the time was these people are producing and are assisting with the service to our community for certain services that we as a town can't do, nor could we afford. So I still think, contrary, until somebody takes us to court, I still think we should approve the $23,500.
I concur.
I concur, I would agree with you, Mr. Yazbek. When we started, how would we run our animal shelter, senior minibus? We were told.
Well, the minibus is out of there because they got
Excuse me,
taken by the
just
state.
reading off the list. We need to seek state, what we were told is we needed to seek state legislation that will allow grants and contributions. You know what? I'm not going to say what I said the last time. I would support that, Mr. Yazbek.
This also includes, it also includes $1,250 for insurance for the land trust, for the land that the town owns, the land trust. That's Title II.
I believe it's 1,418 is flat.
Okay, well then perhaps you might want to increase the amount from $1,250 to $1,418.
Sure.
Well, I mean, we expended the $1,250, so somebody made up the difference.
I think that was
No,
based on,
this is based on this year's premium anticipated.
Yeah, $168. So it would be $23,668.
Element, 23,668.
motion by Councilor Yazbek to approve a total of $23,688. I'm sorry, $23,668, with the difference being the $150 increase in the land trust premium amount. It's been seconded by Councilor Zawinski. Is there any further discussion?
It's actually 1418.
Yeah, it's okay, we get the numbers down.
Yeah.
Hearing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote.
23,668.
$23,668.
Phelps? Yes. McGee?
Yes.
Yazbek?
Yes.
Mr. Lundey?
Yes.
Flaherty?
Yes, motion carries. At this time, I would ask for a motion to extend the meeting to, I'm going to just suggest 10:45 to be on the safe side. So a motion. Moved by Councilor Zawinski. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Yazbek. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Now we're going back to